Aretha Franklin, at this moment in time, is similar to this. Her soul is on fire for going and joining the Illuminati. Rigor now, this is what they're doing to her. The Illuminati used her and abused her. And now they finna put her in a box. This is the way they do us when we're in the Illuminati. Fire. Rigor use and abuse and misuse. Then they put us in a box and they put us in the ground. And that's the sound that they make us crown. How y'all doing? My name is Mr. Snaggapus, the comedian. And I thank everybody for watching my videos. I thank everybody for supporting me as a comedian. I need to build my subscription and subscribers up. You know, I don't have life insurance. But if I did, I would have Aflac. I think Aflac would be the cheapest life insurance that I can get my hands on. I'm trying to get some things going in my life because I got a lot of things that's not going right in my life. And I don't want to end up like Aretha Franklin, soul on fire, you know, body in rigor mortis, locked up dead, sitting on the side of the road, and in a box, a Newport box at that. Man, life is real, man, and I'm just trying to be a comedian, trying to be a man, to provide for my son. I don't have a family. I just have a son. It's just me and my son. I'm not like Steve Harvey. I'm not like J. Anthony Brown. I'm not like none of the comedians that you known or heard of. I'm a real brother of the struggle. I come from the streets. I actually come from prison. I've been to prison 6 times. I don't like bragging about that. Before I became a comedian, I was a stupid person, man. I used to do a lot of stupid, dumb things. I was on TV. I was famous before I became famous. Everybody know me. They seen me on TV everywhere. I was on Cops. I was on Fox. Fox had me on TV. I was on Cops. Police scariest car chases. I got beat up by the police. Yeah, all kind of stuff. They didn't show that part, but they showed when they snatched me out the car. Yeah. But, oh man, I just got a lot of things going on in my life right now, man. And pain is one of them. Pain is because if y'all follow me and you know where I come from, remember I used to have a motorhome? Well, I don't have a motorhome no more. But I still have my little bitty 2-door Geo Metro. Yeah. And right now, in my current life and time, man, in my personal life, I have nothing. Nobody. No one. No one but my mother. And as y'all can see, these videos that I've been dropping lately, it's been real inside footage of my life, my personal life. I really don't, reveal these things, but God is telling me to show them to the world. I'm finna go, I'm finna leave, I'm finna stop doing what I'm doing right now because I can't, I have to, step back out of the limelight and focus on my life and get some things in order. Some kind of way I gotta do something. If I gotta just go get me a job at a car wash, do something, I gotta go find me some kind of income where I can, get my life established where I can provide and take care of my son. Like, all I want right now in my life is my son and, to make people laugh, man. Like, to make people laugh. People don't know me, man. don't understand my situation. I was an inspiring comic, a comedian. I was in LA, you know, living my dreams, man, trying to change my reality through comedy and trying to, be funny and trying to, love people and get people to love me. But my whole comedy career blew up, exploded in my life. Um, the more funnier I got, the more hatred and envy I started to receive between comedians and people that I was surrounded by and people that I was allowing into my environment. And I had a perfect little family, me, my girl, my son. We had a child together, ended up having a little boy. I was starting to move up the ladders of comedy, getting, good opportunities, doing all kind of stuff. And I kept promising my girl, I keep telling my girl that, through this comedy shit, it's gonna really change her life. Like, all you gotta do is just hold on and believe. I promise you, everything is gonna be all right. And, my content, my mental awareness of where I was with my comedy, and because of, the teachings that I got in comedy. Sometimes, man, you just can't be yourself. They tell you to be yourself, but when you be yourself, it scare people. And I wasn't becoming funny until I got up there and I started becoming myself, like just being me. And I got up there acting fun, trying to do those stupid ass, pre-predicated jokes, and people was laughing at me, not my jokes. Like, but then the moment I started to let that shit go and just start doing me and being me, people seen it and it was funny. And the good thing is, God blessed me to have the footage. I have footage for every time I ever hit the stage. I done did shows with all kinds of comedians, black comedians, white comedians, Asian comedians. I done promoted shows, I done produced shows. I did everything in the comedy world that I could do for an independent, comedian trying to prove his worth and trying to do something for himself. Like, I didn't get no, a lot of people recognize me, but I didn't get no, it is what it was. I didn't get no, no star role in no movie and no shit like that. I didn't get what I thought, what I dreamed about. Like, people can dream about anything. I dreamed about being a big comedian one day. And I was in prison when I dreamed that. And it was crazy because deja vu hit me when I hit the stage for the first time. I didn't go out and bust an open mic like most comedians did. I got threw out to the wolves on a real production show. Like, and I tell people, man, God put you in places for a certain reason, for a certain place, where everything makes sense. Like, and my first show, I performed at the Pachanga Casino and Hotel Resort in front of like 500 people. Like, that was my first show. I mean, it was a big show, a night show. It was probably more than 500 people in the crowd. But I went out as, the opening up comedian, the opening act, and I didn't even have an act. Like, I didn't even know what an act was. Like, what the hell am I acting like that? I done lied to this dude and told him I was a comedian, and I go up first, like, oh God, what I'm gonna do? And I went out there, man. I ain't never been scared of nothing, man. I ain't never been scared of nothing, man. That's the funny shit. So, I ran out on stage, right? First time ever doing comedy. First time I ever did comedy, man, it was like, fire in my soul, man. Like, I don't know what it was, man. It was everything I dreamed about in my dreams when I was in prison. It felt good. I wanted it. I can never describe that feeling I had the first time I ever did comedy. And I want to know what? Killed that shit. That shit was funny as fuck. I killed that shit. That shit was funny as fuck. Oh God. Man, comedy is everything. It's cool, man. How can a person like me, man, been to prison 6 times? First time I went to prison, I was 11 years old. No, I was 14 when I went to prison. First time when I first got locked up for the crime, I was 11 years old. I went all around the world, except just around the world, around the United States. You know, selling cocaine, marijuana, pussy. Pills, all kind of crazy shit. Go to prison 6 times, watch people get killed, watch people get robbed. I got robbed. You know, one time I got robbed, man, and got duct taped up, man. I'm talking about hog tied. And motherfuckers threw me off a bridge, man. Like for real, motherfuckers threw me off a bridge. In some kind of way when I was in the water, man, some kind of way that tape, duct tape, I'm talking about a spool of duct tape came loose and my hands came free and I was able to, you know, get out the water and shit. I mean, I got like stories in my life, man, that happened to me, man. And I don't know how I ended up on stage telling comedy, like doing comedy. I was supposed to be dead years ago. Like, that was crazy. But it ain't about me, man. It ain't about my story. It ain't about shit. I don't give a fuck who it is, man. Like, man. I just like talking, man. You know, I done found myself a new piece. I found a book, The 7 Spiritual Laws to Success. That book really transformed my thinking process right now. For everything I thought it was, it is the way it is. It had nothing to do with changing. The present right now is opportunity. And if I hold on to my past, if I dwell on my future, I'm gonna miss my great opportunity right now that I have in my present to make something happen for myself. You know, conscience is everything, man. Once you have a conscience, you can understand life, man, and understand things for what they are, man. You know, you can be a better person. You know, I try to be a better person. I try to change every day, man. I try to change for the better, man. But the more you try to change, the more you find yourself isolating yourself from, you know, the world. I ain't isolating myself, you know. people isolate themselves from me. You know, I'm not a benefit to nobody right now. And if you're not a benefit, don't nobody want to mess with you. Man, I remember when I was a benefit. I remember when, you know, I was doing good. It's cool though. Life is good. Some of my videos don't make sense, man. Shit. It's a sign of getting old. Why every time, man, I get spiritual or I get emotional, man, you know, people say that that's crazy. You know, lately I've been going through something, you know, with the courts and my child, my baby mama, and my family, my one family member, my auntie in Mississippi, not from Mississippi, my auntie in California. I got a story to tell, man, and I'm gonna tell the story. I ain't gonna kill it off right now. This video, I'm already in too deep to talk about the story. I'm 16 minutes in. Oh, that ain't long. I think I can tell the story. 16 minutes. Yeah, I can tell the story. Man, when I was, you know, pursuing comedy, man, I had got an opportunity to be on the J. Anthony Brown radio show. And in the beginning, it was right after J. Anthony Brown had got fired off of the Tom Joyner show. Jay seen me as an inspiring comedian coming to the club a lot. He seen me hit the stage. He seen a show that I had produced. He seen my fire in my comedy. He seen me as an independent artist. He seen me what I was doing. He seen that I was, you know, at that time, man, I was, you know, the best word to describe my comedy, man, was just raw. I was raw. I was untamed. I needed a little training, a little schooling, you know, a little cooling. I was funny, but it was wild funny. And it was, you know, it was energetic. You know, a lot of people, you know, underestimate me. They think I look younger than what I look, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, you know, misjudge me from day one. So when I told them how old I was, they really was like an amusement. Like, wow, man, you that old, man, you nice little, you know, you young man, man. I got a son your age. I'm like, yeah. But I got ambition, man. And people thought I was lying when I said I didn't have no friends, I didn't have no family, I didn't know nobody. I didn't. I come out of nowhere. Like I told people, I come out of nowhere. From Mississippi, man. I come out here to, you know, pursue my comedy career. People didn't know that I had already, you know, been in California for some time before I just fully transitioned towards LA and Hollywood. I got out of prison in 2009, and I started working at a barbershop in the valley. Like towards Lake Elsinore. And I started out, I came out the chute real good, man. As soon as I came out of prison, 2 days after, I was out of prison, I had a job. 2 months after I was out of prison, I had my own place, a condominium, a new truck. Just 2 months, and I had just served 10 years. Just got out of prison. In 2 months, in 60 days, I had just enough money when I got out of prison. They wrote me a check for the money that I had on my books. It was like, I think I had a check for like 2,700. And see, 2,700 wasn't the money that the prison gave me. 2,700 was the money that I had on my books, like my commissary account. And I had way more money than that. I was up to like $6,000 at one point at that before I got ready to get out. And I said I was gonna stop at 5,000. And that was like, I wanna say at least 3 months prior, 4 months, no, about 6 months prior before I got out, I had at least like $6,000 in my account. And I told myself, I was like, man, I'm gonna get out. I need to stop at 5. But in the penitentiary, you know, I was busting moves. So I ended up spending $100 every week. I was maxing out on my goddamn canteen, you know, gambling, bullshit, handling business, restocking my store. You know what I'm saying? Doing all kind of shit. Yeah, I had a store in the penitentiary. I used to sell shit, motherfucker, you know, 2 for 1. Fuck, want something from me, nigga, gonna cost you 2 back. If you ain't got it on payday, it's double. Yeah. Second week, it's triple. And then it's gonna motherfucking flip mode, nigga. You ain't gotta worry about it. I'm gonna flip your ass and take the whole goddamn sack. But that's some other, you know, that was when I had my store in the penitentiary. You know, people don't understand where I come from, the things that I've been through, and the places that I've been. I have family members in my life, man. You know, my whole family been separated since the death of my grandmother. And the funny part was is that we didn't have a big family. It's my grandmother. She had three daughters. 3 daughters and 1 son. And that's it. And her baby girl, her youngest daughter, lived in California. She was born in California. But my mother and her younger sister, my mother's the oldest, lived and was born in Mississippi. Okay, when it breaks down like this, my uncle, her only son, he killed himself. He committed suicide. Back in the days, high tripping on PCP. Anyways, we was raised with morals. We was raised with respect. We was raised in the church. My grandmother was evangelist in the beginning, when I first recognized and understood what, you know, God was and spirituality, God, you know, what was going on as a child. My grandmother was an evangelist, and at that time, an evangelist was just a prayer warrior, a praise warrior. She went to church 7 days a week, at least 6 days out of the week. Like, she might rest one day, but she went to church 6, 7 days a week, and she made us to go with her. Like, she took us along with her. And my grandmother was a glamour queen. In our church, you know, fashion, I guess, amongst the elders was, you know, a financial, you know what I'm saying, a financial show-off statement. Like, yeah, they had the hats, they had the dresses, they had the shoes, they had the purses. You know, glamorously. I mean, glamorously. If you don't understand what glamorous is, that means you ain't never been around people with money. You ain't never been around people that can afford to make tailor-made dresses, or that can afford to, you know, buy, you know, expensive luxury cars and stuff like that. My grandmother lived that lifestyle, and she raised me into that lifestyle. I was raised on the other side of the tracks, where in Mississippi, where we lived at, they said you got the white folks side of the tracks and you got the black folks side of the tracks. And we stayed on the white folks side. That's what they said. Stay on the white folks side of the tracks. In the white folk track. Yeah. But my mama was an outcast. She was a black sheep. You She didn't. She went to church, but she was the type of person that would go to church and sit there for the music. She'd come in for the beginning, and as soon as the choir get through singing and the preacher get ready to come up to the pulpit, my mama would start, y'all know I gotta use the bathroom, and go out the back door and never come back in. She came to church, but she didn't stay for the word. She just liked the music part. And so she'd come in and leave. And at that time, my mama was grown, so my mama and grandma didn't have no say so. All she wanted to do was say we had to come to church. So she said we came, she came. And my mama was slick. Some kind of way she'd slide right back in, right at the end of service, and be there with her. Oh, I was here. I was in the back. We heard everything. Yeah, man. So that's just a little snippet of that. We're gonna move forward a little bit and just say that, my grandmother raised us together, and she used to always say, this is all we got, this is our family, this is our legacy. It's 3 girls, y'all gotta reproduce, make some boys, y'all boys gotta reproduce, get some girls and make some more kids, and we gotta reproduce, this is it, our family is disintegrating. And that's the way our grandmother raised us, right? We slept together, we ate together, we bathed together, you know what I'm saying? We fought together. And the funny part was, and my grandmother raised me and my auntie together. Like, for the first, 7, 8 years of my life, it was just me, my auntie, and my grandmother. And she's 7 years older than me, so she's really, considerably, she's not my auntie, she's my big sister, my mama's baby sister. You know what I'm saying? She's 7 years older than me. And we done fought. We, you know what I'm saying? Like brothers and sisters, she used to nag me. She used to, do my hair, put my hair in ponytails, make me look like a girl, all kind of stuff. And she was the one that called herself cutting my hair for the first time. Instead of them taking me to a barbershop when I was a kid, they took me in the damn kitchen and put a bowl on top of my head and just shaved my shit off. And that shit wasn't cool. I got some fucked up baby haircut pictures. And I don't even show my baby haircut pictures because they should have never cut my hair. I had long, beautiful hair. And because they got tired of braiding and being lazy as fuck, they ended up cutting my hair off. And it still ended up going back into a big afro. But at the same time, they, cut my hair. Never gave me the potential I could have been as a child to look the way God wanted me to look. Because, my grandmother always said, she said, baby, you were born with a head full of curly, pretty hair. And any child that's born with a head curly, full of hair is supposed to have hair on their head all their life. Your hair is your strength. And then she read the story of Samson to me. And, and that right there, just really always had a, implication in my hair. My hair is my strength. My hair is my life. And when I look in the mirror with hair, I know I look good. I done had my hair cut off before, and I looked in the mirror and I didn't feel that way. But with my hair, every girl I ever had, when I asked them, I said, what's my features? What is it about me that you like the most? What is it about me that you like? And they be like, well, your hair. My hair is one of the first things that they say, like, your hair, your eyes, your smile, your personality, it's you. They say, I'm deep, man. When I meet a female, or I try to, be with a person that I like, I'm trying to be with, I'm real deep, I'm intimate, man. I'm a Sagittarius. I try to get close. But, some girls they are afraid of that. They ain't never had a man that's aggressive and straight to the point. Like, I don't play. You just met me, right? I get straight to the point. We don't live. Life ain't guaranteed. None of this is. We live one day at a time, man. We can't sit back and procrastinate. But anyways, I'm gonna move forward a little bit more. 29 in, and I need y'all to hear this and understand this story. So, as a child, man, me and my auntie, we was real close. When I was in, my music classes, my when I was playing the trumpet, when I was in band, she used to come to my recitals. Um, when I was in aviation school, she came to my first flight assembly. She did a lot of stuff, man. Like, we was like brother and sister, man. I was like the cute little baby boy. I was bad, and I didn't have nobody, man. You know, I used to sleep with my auntie. My auntie used to, we was loved. Like, we was raised together. Like, when I turned 18, I came into some money to, a little settlement. I even loaned her some money. I loaned her $1,500 so she can do something in school, do some things, whatever she wanted to do. And the agreement was that she was gonna pay me back when she got her income tax. I did that when I was 18. She did pay me back. She paid me back like 5 years later when I was in prison. And she sent the money to my account, to my books. I ain't mad at her. She sent me $1,500 to my account, to my books. And I love her for that. I told her, I said, yeah, you did come back and pay me. And that's what's up. She paid me back. But with all that being said, when I got out of prison and I came out here and I started doing comedy and I ended up in LA, I had a place. I had my own place. I had an apartment. I was living nice. And every night I used to go out and try to do comedy, And I had a young girl, man. I met a young girl in the streets while I was working at as a barber. And she was beautiful. She was young, man. And I started living for the girl. Like, I started living for life. I started, putting my focus on my situation and and looking around at the things that I didn't have, and I was blaming myself, or being upset with myself for not being able to do what I could be doing. Like, instead of me bundling up, frustrated, I should have been out seeking, even more for, a better opportunity. But I got to that point in my life, man, where I was just trying to live one day at a time and live right, like, and just live in that, live in that confinement, that concealment where I was living at for myself. Yeah, man. But then turned around and things got real rough, man, and I lost everything. I lost my job, kept on transitioning to shop to shop. Couldn't make no money, wasn't making any money. I probably do a haircut here every other day. I do a haircut, and I went through a real just stumbling block, like financially, like mentally. I got stuck. I was so putting too much energy into comedy, man, thinking that I was gonna, be successful overnight. Like, I had fire into that shit, like, and I couldn't see it but one way, and it seemed like every opportunity I got, it was getting better and better, so I just kept on pursuing it, like, But things got real rough, man, and when I least expected, my baby mother just disappeared. And it wasn't just a disappear. It really was a branch, a break. Like, how like you be with somebody for so long and sometimes they feel like they just need to get away and be to themselves. Like, they want a break. Just let me get away. Let me go with my friends. Let me have some fun. Let me do something on my own. Let me do it by myself. And in life, man, when you in a relationship with somebody, or when you know, when you one-on-one and you one with somebody, the biggest mistake you can do is to let your significant other just go off by herself. You know, idle mind is the devil playground. And if I'd really, you know, paid attention to the signs and the situation, what I should have done was just take her off and me and her go somewhere to ourselves and go spend some time, go do something good. But at that time, I didn't have no money. I didn't have the money to do it. But the way God blessed the situation, it reversed the other hand where when I first met her, she didn't have no ID. She didn't have no clothes. She didn't have anything, nothing but the bag in her hands and the shirt and shoes on her back and her feet. And from the day I met her to the day she left me, which is a little bit over 4 years, I gave her the world, everything under the sun that I could provide for her. She had more underwear. She had more underwear than me. She had more clothes than me. She had more shoes than me. She had more than everything. I gave her everything that I possibly could. And then some. I put her in a position where she could get her citizenship, where she could get her ID, where she could do everything she was supposed to do. And then I got her a good job. A good job as a security. A good job. The best job she ever had in her life. Started out at $20 an hour. You can't beat that. That's a good job. Ain't that a good job?
Yep, wish I had.
Yeah. But when the shoe flipped, I took care of her for 3 years. Over 3 years. Anything she wanted, at the end of the day, whatever I made at the barbershop, it was ours. I spent my money on us, and everything. I had to feed her, I had to take care of her, buy her personal hygiene, all kinds of personal products, things she needed, things she wanted, when I seen shit that looked good, I just bought it for her. Here, baby. You know, you can give a person the world, man, but if they don't want nothing, they ain't gonna know how to appreciate it. And if they don't work for it, they ain't gonna never understand the value of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
You can't get mad at what people do, man. You know, people think the way they think. So I'll never forget it. She got her little paycheck. Her first big paycheck was like $1,800. And her friend pulled up and said she wanted to go to Vegas. I just want to go to Vegas. I ain't been nowhere since we've been together. It's been 4 years and we've been together every day. Just let me have some time and some space and let me go off with my girl so we can go have some fun. You got $1,800 and we sleeping on the side of the road. We need to go get a place. Oh, we can do that when I come back. I'm not going to spend that much money. And I was so frustrated at myself in life, man. And you can't control nobody with their money. You can't make them do nothing they want to do, you know. Before she got that check, we was talking about going to get a place, trying to find a place. We need to go, you know, we was trying to, you know, get off the streets. As soon as she got that money, her mind went the other way. And the first thing I can say is, wow. I tried to talk to her, I tried to be reasonable. I tried to be, you know, straight up, like, man, you really think it's stupid right now, man. What we need to be doing is trying to find a place. Oh, you ain't gonna get no place like that. You gonna... So she went to Vegas, and I never seen her again. She was supposed to be gone 1 week. Not even a week, like 5 days. 5 days go by, I start calling her. I'm like, when you back? You came back yet? She never answers. week go by. Never answers, never respond. I text, I said, damn, what's going on? Are you all right? I haven't heard from you. You supposed to be back. Are you back? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm with Nate. That's the only message I get from her. Right here. 2 weeks go by. I text her every day. What's up? Where you at? You coming? Where y'all at? She never responds. 3 weeks, 4 weeks. On the 4th week, I'm thinking she on a power trip. I think she with her homegirls and they like, oh, that nigga got you sleeping on the road. You can stay with me. You know, I'm thinking she on a power trip. She done got, you know, fucked up in the head with her homegirls. So I'm sitting in front of the barbershop talking to my homeboy. And all of a sudden I see my car pull up across the street at the dispensary. When I see the car, I look back, I'm like, is that my shit? And then a nigga jumped out the damn driver's side. I got hysterical. You know, I get mad. I fight where I get mad at. I jumped out the car and ran across the street. I'm like, Crystal, what the fuck is going on? Stupid as fuck. I'm stupid as hell. I'm still living in denial. I see it with my own 2 eyes, and I'm still asking her what's going on. I should have just walked away. But I couldn't. I paid for that car. I paid for the insurance. I paid for the tags. I just couldn't walk away. I had a hammer in my hand. I turned around and I took that hammer and I started knocking out the windshield. I hit the windshield like 3 times. She was sitting on the passenger side, just sitting there stupid as fuck, wouldn't say shit. I'm like, goddamn, Crystal, what the fuck is going on? You ain't gonna tell me what the fuck? I bet you the conversation they was having right before they pulled up at that goddamn store is, when is you gonna tell him it's over with? When you gonna call him and tell him it's over? Nobody knew. She ain't never called me. She ain't never tell me. She ain't never said nothing. She was with another nigga. It's over with. None of that shit. She just did. And I had to find out. A nigga driving my car. So I hit the windshield a couple times. And she jumps out the passenger side, stands on the curb right next to the nigga. The nigga sitting there with a whole while I'm hitting the window. He just standing there with his mouth open. Why don't you fight him? Why don't you fight him? Why don't you catch his fade? I looked at her and that nigga. I was like, bitch, I'm not gonna fight no nigga over you. I'm just beating my windows out of my car so this nigga won't be able to drive my shit. You got me fucked up. You ain't finna let no nigga drive my motherfucking car, bitch, that I paid for, that I ride in. I bought this car so your dumb ass wouldn't be riding the bus. Like, no. You know, that's a real nigga, man. I bought a car, man, and didn't even think twice about that motherfucker. I just let her drive it here. But don't never get it twisted. I bought that car with my money. I swear to God, I bought it from one of the barbers that I worked with. I told her I paid $1,500 for the car, but he sold it to me for $500. It was just a little fucking bucket, a little hoopty. I put a ribbon on that motherfucker, cleaned it up, and gave it to her. Like, here, baby, I told you you would not have to ride the bus. You get a job, get you a car, get your driver's license. And when I bought the car, I did not let her drive it. I didn't let her drive it because she didn't have a driver's license. And I told her, I said, I'm going to teach you how to drive it. You can take it to the DMV and get your license. I taught her how to drive it. I took it to the DMV, and I got a license. And once she got her license, I didn't have to add it to my insurance because I had State Farm. Anybody I let drive my car is covered. Shit, all you got to do is have a driver's license. So shit, I let her drive the car. I was cool. I had full coverage insurance. She wrecked it. I would have got paid for it. It didn't even matter. This girl didn't even understand how to buy it, didn't know what the fuck a car was. They never had one, they never, she done drove one before, but she ain't never had one. And it was sad, man. It's how you can give a motherfucker something and they think they got just enough, just what they think they need to give your ass, out your ass, and then they show you their true intent all along. So, after I knocked the windows out and I sit up there and I start laughing, she talked about fight the nigga. The nigga stood there for like 3 minutes. I done bust the windows out. The nigga ain't trying to fight. The nigga like 7 feet tall. I'm standing there with a hammer in my hand. I don't give a fuck. If you 7 feet tall, nigga, and I'm 100 pounds, nigga, I don't give a fuck what you got in your hand. Nigga, I'll beat your ass. You got one time to swing that motherfucker, nigga, and after you swing it, nigga, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. Like, for real. But anyway, the nigga wasn't no fighter. He was a dumbass little young nigga. He like 26, 27, 28, something like that. Little young, dumb, dirty ass nigga. The nigga just stood there. And so I stood there for a second after I knocked out the window. And I'm being truthful, fear kicked in, and I just ran back and jumped in my truck and pulled off. But as I got down the street, I thought about it. I said, you know what? I left my goddamn keys. I could have got the keys. So I turned around and I went to make the block. I went looking for the ass. I went back and the damn car was gone. So I rode around, I made the block, and that last block I didn't see the ass. I was like, fuck it, I'm gone. I'm gonna get up out of here. As soon as I said that shit, I looked to the right and I seen the goddamn car parked on the side of the road. So I pull over, I jump out, I look in the car, nobody was in it. It was just sitting there, the windows was knocked out. So I jumped out, went and got my hammer and started beating the windows out some more. Right then at that moment, my baby mama ran out the side of this building. I'm like, why the fuck you keep hitting my car? Why the fuck you keep hitting my car? I'm like, this is not your car. This is my car. And I told you why I'm beating out the windows, because I don't want nobody to drive this motherfucker. And then this nigga come out the same side of the building she came from. Oh, fuck that nigga with a pistol. Just started busting at me. I'm like, damn. I jump in my car, my truck, pull off. He shooting my truck, shot in my truck 5 times. The first bullet went straight through my damn driver's side window. I pull off. I run the red light. As soon as I run the red light, there was a police coming down the street, and they jumped behind me and turned on the lights and pulled me over. And as soon as they pulled me over, I jumped out the goddamn truck with my hands up and told them, I said, man, the reason why I ran the light is because somebody was just shooting at me down the street. So they run my information, get my license. They take me back down the street to where the damn shooting happened at. They pick up the gun shells out the street. They pick up, they see the car just sitting there with the windows busted out. And while we standing there, her dumb ass come walking back down the street. And so they arrested her. I told her, I said, that's the girl that was with him that shot at me. So she goes inside the police station after they arrest her and tell her that I'm a deranged boyfriend that can't get over the fact that I done left him for another man. And that, that I bust out the windows in the car and all this stuff. And, she whatever she said, she told the police she wasn't standing there when she didn't hear nobody shooting at me. She don't know the guy that I was talking about. Because the only thing I knew the guy because she introduced him to me when I was working down the street at a barbershop where we was working at, in that same little area where he shot at me at on Crenshaw. I had met the nigga because when I first met the girl, I had gave her a hustle to go out and, sell DVDs. That was another chapter of my life. I used to sell DVDs at one time, and I ended up making a lot of money selling DVDs and CDs. And so I gave her that hustle, thinking that she can, walk around during the day. She didn't have to just sit around in the truck or just sit in the motorhome. She can make a little extra money and shit. We can grind together. And she was making a little extra money, but she wasn't,
She wasn't out there trying to make money and just come home. She was out there flirting, jerking. She introduced me to the nigga one day. He sold me a sack. Tell me, oh, this my homeboy. His name RB. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I don't know no niggas. I ain't giving a fuck about no niggas. That's cool. Let's rock. So I bought a sack from the nigga one day. And that's how I ended up, meeting the nigga. She introduced the nigga to me. Oh, this one of my homeboys. So. I'm like, yeah. So that night when the nigga shot at me, the police, they gave me my car back. So they gave me the car because the car was in my name. They gave me the keys to it. And so I had to go back over there where he shot at me. I had to go get my car. I ran over there, got my car, drove it off. Windows knocked out, glass everywhere. I cut my hands and shit driving off. I did that shit to myself. So I went and parked it. And I fucked around the next day, take it to the car wash. I'm cleaning it out, getting the glass and shit out of it. And I find a nigga ID. And I called the investigators and I called him. I said, man, y'all ain't gonna believe this shit. I found the guy that shot at me ID inside of my car when I was cleaning it up. They tell me, say, well, bring the ID up to the, because I just knew his street name. I didn't know his real name. I just knew RB. Anybody's name could be RB. You know what I'm saying? So, fuck around and, I can get a police, the motherfuckers, his goddamn ID. Like, if you go to ID, I found. So, this is his real name. Go arrest this motherfucker for trying to kill me. Like, what the fuck? Oh, we gonna arrest him. We got the information we need, such and such. We need you to go lay low. Just get out of town for a little bit. Go off somewhere to the valley somewhere, just for a couple of days. And we'll call you when we arrest the suspect. Man, a couple of days turned into months. Every other day I was calling, yeah, I arrest this nigga yet? No, we ain't arrested. I'm like, oh shit. So, them couple of days literally turned into months. 3 months go by, and I called every other day. They tell me, say, oh, well, the district attorney didn't accept the case. It's a district, it's a reject. So y'all telling me y'all still ain't arrested this nigga yet? So they never arrested the nigga. The nigga got away. They said because didn't nobody get shot, didn't nobody get killed. It ain't enough evidence to process this case. And the district attorney in LA said, because that was a domestic violence case, they called it domestic violence, that it's not that it is some kind of bullshit, that it wouldn't hold up in court. I'm like, how can somebody shoot at a person 5 times at point blank range? Ain't that attempted murder? Wouldn't hold up in court. Like, y'all got some shit going on out here. I just don't understand. If a person don't get killed, if a person don't get shot, you don't. Man, I pulled a pistol on a motherfucker and got 7 years for aggravated assault. How the fuck y'all aggravated assault somebody if I never shot him? But you gonna tell me that this man shot at me 5 times and he's not gonna be arrested for at least discharging a firearm in fucking city limits or nothing? He's on probation, parole. Found out this nigga was on parole for a drug charge. And the police knew it from day one. And they never went to his parole officer. They never went up to the parole office to fucking question the man. None of that shit. He had other people calling into the police station saying that they was witnesses and that he wasn't there at the scene. And they took all that evidence against my evidence. And the shell casings with his fingerprints, the bullet holes in my truck. And they said that was not enough evidence to convict the man for attempted murder. And they told me to lay low. And so where he shot at me was actually the same location, same area where I cut hair at, where I had a mobile barbershop, where I worked in barbershops that I had clients. 80% of my clientele was in that area where he shot at me at. So it dislocated me where I was afraid and feared to go cut hair in those neighborhoods around people that, I didn't know who he knew. And I wasn't from that area. And anybody that can hustle in that area, evidently, they gang is accepted in that area. And I ain't no gang banger to be jumping in the middle of no street gang shit in LA. And I ain't especially over no dumbass bitch. I'm like, fuck this shit, man. So I ended up finding myself on the 60 freeway. My engine blew up, Now, at first I went to Vegas. And when I went to Vegas, I was still doing the J. Anthony Brown show at the same time. Mentally frustrated. I even went on the show and was talking about the shit. I did a whole bunch of shit. You know, I couldn't erase, you know, the situations that was happening to me in my personal life. And so when I was, you know, I ended up, you know, I got frustrated one day and I got on the freeway and I ended up, some kind of way, I ended up in Las Vegas. And I was like, fuck California, man, I'm going to Vegas and I'm starting my barbershop and do my shit out here, man. So I went to Vegas and I met one of my homeboys on the strip. And he was a pimp. Some kind of way I ended up in Vegas being an assistant pimp, riding around, taking his hoes, dropping them off in a limousine and shit. He ain't had nobody on his team that had a driver license. He needed a good nigga. And he was paying me well, but I didn't want to be in Vegas being an assistant pimp. And some kind of way while I was in Vegas, my auntie that had my son, brought my son to Vegas and dropped him off with me. Like, here go your son, take him with you. Like, so I ended up having my son in Vegas with me. And we was living life. I didn't want my son around that pimp shit. But he had to be around it for a minute because we were balling. That nigga was balling. That nigga had 3 condominiums, a brand new West 550. I was gone. Yeah, fucking with my boy. But I ended up having to leave that shit. I got scared. Me and this nigga got arrested one night walking out of the MGM as soon as he picked up 2 of his hoes. And they were talking about we was pimps. And I was like, I ain't pimping nothing but my goddamn clippers, man. That's all I pimp, man. I'm a clipper, I'm a barber. So I ended up having to fucking, they let me go and took this nigga to jail. He got out of jail. I was back on the freeway going back towards LA. Cause I had already, J. Anthony Brown had already contacted me. And he was like, nigga, we need you back on this show. Where you been? Where you at? I'm in Vegas, nigga. I ran away, man. I ain't have nowhere else to go, man. So I ended up in Vegas. And he begged me, man, come back, Snag. The ratings done went down since you been on the show. Everybody want to know where you at. They want you. We need you. And so I ended up going back to LA working with J. Anthony Brown on the radio show. You know, J. Anthony Brown tried a lot of comedians on his show. He tried a lot of other people on his show. And when I got on this show, the ratings went up. People loved me as my character, my audience, the things, my content. He couldn't find a second co-host for shit. He used Miss Niel, but Miss Niel got knocked out the box for, they claimed she was stealing funds from the club, and, you know, shimming the numbers, doing all kind of stuff. And J. Anthony Brown fired her, called her all kind of bitches, talked behind the scenes behind her. Now, some kind of way, he done rehired her. She's working at the club again, and she don't know how many bitches and hoes and that bitch, that hoe, that slut. I wouldn't dare fuck with that bitch again. That bitch was stealing all my damn money. See, J. Anthony Brown was, he's bisexual, so he fucking her, and if he ain't, he doing, he got all kind of shit. He probably fucking her. No, I ain't gonna say he fucking her. I ain't never seen him fuck her. But I mean, from a standpoint, I would see that, I seen something. The way he handled her, the way he talked to her, he was paying her rent, he was buying her cars, he was buying her flowers. Yeah, he was fucking her. He done fucked her, and she fucked for the position or sucked for it, one of the two. It'll never fail, when that's all you got, and that's the biggest person that you can be close to that can help you, and they financially, feeding you. Oh, you gonna fuck it. So, that's probably what it was. I can't, it's a pre-assumption, but I can assume what I want to because I was close around them and I seen the way that they interacted with each other. So I can say what I want to say because I seen it with my own 2 eyes. But his show wasn't shit without me. And when I came back and we worked on the show, we did our shit, he pre-recorded so many shows with me that he was able to sell his show and go syndicate it. And when he was able to go syndicate it on the show, they promised me this contract, this big ass contract, and then it's just what it is. Steve Harvey came up and his crew, all they want to do is steal an audience. Auntie Fee said the same shit. When his show went syndicated, that's when Steve Harvey wanted to put him on his show. So now he representing the Steve Harvey show, and his show is syndicated. And they locked the market in on syndication radio. So it was what it was, And J. Anthony Brown told me, he said, man, when Steve bring the new show down to LA, man, we done already discussed you in it. You're gonna be a co-host on the show. and you're gonna get a major contract. He said that the bonus you're gonna get is enough money to change your life. But when you get this money, I really want you to pay it back, pay it forward, Snag. I'm like, okay, no problem. This man said this to me. He came inside of my motorhome, looked around, like, man, you really live in here? I'm like, yeah, this is my house, man. This is it. This is all I got. This is what I do. You know, this is where I get everything. This is where I work at. He looked around, sat around, looked. And he, you know, with tears in his eyes, he was like, man, I'm gonna really help you, man. I'm gonna get you on. I'm gonna get you on. And once you get on, I'm gonna leave you going. All I want you to do is just pay it forward. I was like, all right, cool. So he blew my head up, man. This man had me doing all kind of shit. All on the streets, doing interviews with people, signing people up, telling me that, you know, and they showed me that, the Steve Harvey show was going to be canceled in Chicago and moved to Los Angeles. So right before all that shit took place, my truck broke down. And I talked to Jay. Well, I didn't talk to Jay. I talked to the producers and I talked to the publicists. And I told him, I said, send a message to Jay and tell him that my truck broke down on me on the 60 freeway. And I need some help. Just send me a cash advance. They was already paying me like $3,000 a month. And I told him, I said, well, give me a cash advance, at least $1,500 so I can just get my truck fixed.
What the hell?
And they still hadn't paid me from the previous month before that. And I told them, I said, I know I got some money coming, but I only did 2 shows that month because they had some holiday shit come up and they canceled 2 shows. But because they canceled it, I should have still got paid because it wasn't my call for them to cancel it. I was sitting in front of the studio when I got the email that said the show was going to be canceled. So I had already wasted my time and money going to the damn studio, waiting on them motherfuckers to show up. And then nobody show up to the last minute. That's nigga shit. You know, they don't know how to handle business. They send you a message 5 minutes before the show and say, oh, it's canceled. Like, what the hell? I'm already sitting here. The show started at 2. I was sitting in front of the goddamn studio at 12 o'clock. You know, I didn't have to go nowhere. I had my motorhome. I was chilling. Yeah, I'll probably catch a couple of haircuts in front of the studio. Shit. But that didn't go down. And so, yeah, I see it. So within, I talked to them. They said that they talked to Jay. Then I talked to Jay personally. He called me. And he was like, snag on. I talked to my people. They gonna come. Somebody finna send you some money. Go to the Western Union, MoneyGram, wherever they gonna send it to. You gonna pick up the money, get your truck fixed, get back to the show. All right, cool. So I go to the MoneyGram, sit there all day. Nobody showed it. Nobody, called me, text me. I could wait till that afternoon. I sent a text message. Nobody text me. So the next day I called. Nobody called me, text me. Then I go to my email and I see that they go on the email and said, it's been two weeks since you've been to the show, and this was from the producer. Jay said that your services is no longer needed because you did a no-show. I said, a no-show? Like, Jay told me to tell you that your services is no longer needed. So, in so many words, they fired me on the show, and I sat there at the Western Union MoneyGram all that day and never got a dime. And they never paid me for this, for my services that I performed. Because the little money that they was giving me, he kept on telling me, this is just a little something now for just until we can get things going. And I was like, all right. He got his money, he got his contract, but I never got the contract. They X'd me out the box. The producers got their contract. Everybody got their position. Courtney Black got sent to a whole nother show. She ended up on the Cheryl Underwood show, the talk show, something like that. Yeah, everybody got their position, but Snag. They left Snag on the side of the road in his motorhome. It just fucked up, like, for real. That's the way they did it. So I'm like Anita Baker. I'm dead like a motherfucker right now. I'm dead to the world. Then I go to Mississippi to get my son, come back. They told my motorhome, everything in it. They want me to get him $1,000 just to go inside and get my possessions. I had to walk away. But I've been working at barbershops, making a couple hundred here, I've been going to Ross, buying me some clothes here, some clothes there. And I've been striving. Me and my mama been together out here in LA. I'm in Beverly Hills right now. I'm in Riverside. Me and my mama been sleeping in the car, thugging it out, getting hotel rooms for about over a month and a half now. Nobody reached out yet. But it's cool, I'm finna go back. We finna disappear. My phone finna get cut off because I ain't gonna be able to afford the bill. And then it's an old ass phone. It keep locking up, so I'm gonna throw this motherfucker in the trash, go MIA, save my money, buy me a new phone one day. I'm gonna just buy me a flip phone next time. I ain't spending no money on no technology, bullshit. I ain't doing none of that shit. I'm just gonna do me. Yeah, but anyways, the story get deep, man. As I was on the streets and my baby mama shot at me and, got almost killed, I asked my auntie in the meantime to temporarily just keep my son so he won't be on the streets with us. And when we get a place, we gonna, get him back. My auntie manipulated me and said, okay, I need temporary custody. I gotta go to the court so I can get him some health care through my job. I gotta have legal guardianship papers on me. So my auntie went up to the courts and filed legal guardianship. And to my knowledge, I'm thinking it was temporary, but she was trying to get permanent. She done locked in her brain. She wanna take my son and raise her like her two sons. And one of her sons came out gay, and the other son done ran away, don't even talk to her ass. I don't want nothing to do with this lady no more. I wish that was the biggest mistake of my life, asking the person that I thought was my family, my love, to do a favor for me, for them to turn around and use my situation against me because I was homeless. She went and filed to the courts for permanent custody. But at the same time, when they notified the mother tried to, she protested it. And when she showed up with the nigga that shot at me. And the court was finna give her custody of my child. After this was 2 years ago. The nigga shot at me, she ran off and left with the nigga. I got my car. When I opened up the trunk, I had everything that I had bought inside of it. Everything, all the clothes, shoes, drawers, and all. Everything that I had bought was in the trunk of that car. And I turned around and gave that shit to all the homeless women in LA that I seen that looked like they were about her size. I'll pull up on her, excuse me, ma'am, you need some clothes? You look like you about a size 6, a size 5, a size 7. Yeah, I got these clothes brand new. I was just opening up the suitcases, letting homeless people, letting women go through them and had that shit. I gave all that shit away. Everything I ever bought, her shoes, red bottoms, all that shit, I gave all that shit away. I turned around and after I, gave all this shit away and got everything. My story is deep. This is just a snippet of it. My auntie turned around and tried to steal my son. She protested, showed up to court with the nigga that shot at me 5 times. My auntie texts me, tell me, you need to get up to the courthouse because she up here finna get custody of him and she got that nigga with her. So I goes to the courthouse and bust in the courtroom and I protest against her having custody. They ask me why, I tell them why, tell them the situation. When I bust out the windows, the dude shot at me. I went and got a restraining order on him, police didn't arrest him. Now, 2 years later, after my son is 4 years old, she just runs up and try to get custody of him and take him back to the environment around the same guy that tried to kill me. And they was finna give it to her until I told them the situation about him shooting at me. And she turned around and admitted to the court that the guy that shot at me was her sufficient other. I didn't do nothing to neither one of them. I didn't try to hurt them. I was just in a rage and I was really devastated. And me and that guy, if he wanted to fight, we could have fought all day. All he had to do was just run up. But it is what it is. They trying to allow her to take my son there because the guy and her still together. They done got a place. She done got a car. She working at El Pollo Loco. She got her nice little part-time job, getting about 26 hours a week, and she got a new car, little Kia, about a 2005, 2006. It ain't no new car, and she says she got an apartment. She paid $14.50 a month for it. I just don't understand how a person can pay $14.50 getting only 26 hours a week at a fast food restaurant.